Okay, so in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the document, the handout that I have for the bookkeeping company. Now, I have a link for this that you can download. You can take my copy, use it, modify it, destroy it, whatever you want to do with it. Um, but essentially, this document talks about who we are, how we got started, and what we can do to help small businesses. So, regardless of whether you produce a product, have products and services, or just services, you can modify this for anything that you want. Some way of introducing people to who you are and what you do and what you have to offer. Okay. This could be good handing out somewhere at a trade show, at an event of some kind, as marketing material. Um, Plus, we hand it out to our referral partners and everything, but we always have it available in case somebody's inquiring about what we do. I always send that to people. So essentially, there's like three high level areas that we talk about. One being, who are we and why did we start the business? Those are two big key areas, right? It's like, why do you want to be a bookkeeper? Why do we want to help small businesses? And in large part, we have seen um, uh, small businesses struggle with this part of their business. Okay, because not everybody that goes into business wants to be a bookkeeper. It's not what they want to be doing. Now, I have known several clients who enjoy that part of their business. They like to see the money and the money flow and all that kind of stuff. But that's a rare individual that wants to be as involved with the books, that it can take, to run a small business and to do all the analytics on it and stuff like that. A lot of small business owners like being involved with their product and their service and delivering that service and marketing that, and so that's often where their interest lies. Okay. And that's okay. Right. There are people like me in the world who can be there to help them with that part. Uh, and I have a lot of business owners who wouldn't want to do that part, but they are interested in it, right? They're a lot more engaged in it than the average small business, so we talk about the kind of relationships that we can have with business owners. So for example, we do say in there that you could be a client that works with us on a regular, ongoing basis where we do a lot of the work for you. We pay your taxes. We take care of your transactions. We provide financials for you whenever you want them, et cetera, et cetera. But we have also what we call advisory services where you may only talk to us once a year. When you have a question or you have concern, or that, we are your go-to individuals for understanding how to use QuickBooks, right? Because it is part of our expertise is that we understand QuickBooks pretty well and can maneuver around that. Occasionally we have to have help from Intuit just because it's a more internal kind of thing where they have to help us fix something. But largely we can help, you know, train a person on QuickBooks. We can help teach them how to use it, that type of thing. So our clients don't necessarily have to utilize a regular ongoing bookkeeping service, right? So we have a handful of people who just need us sporadically, which is fine. Okay. Um, but most of our clients are everyday, day-to-day users of our service. Our clients may or may not want payroll done by us. Our clients may or may not want bank reconciliations done by us, that type of thing. So every client is a little different sometimes in kind of what they want and all that sort of thing. But, we basically say you can work with us regularly or you can work with us sporadically, and we kind of describe what that looks like. And so if you download our copy, you'll see kind of what we talk about there. Plus, we do talk about kind of the background of those working in the company. Right now we've grown to basically about 2.5 to 2 2/3 people. Um, we work with a couple of contractors, plus there's a couple of people who work full time. Um, and we have clients in different parts of the country. At different times, we've had several different states that we work within, so we can work anywhere in the US. We can also work in Canada and specifically in British Columbia because we have a company presence there. Um, but yeah, so we talk about sort of the geography of where we can help people, etc. So we're pretty much, we don't have to be just one state, and we're not just one state. And so, that's an important thing to kind of point out in our brochure. Okay. We also talk about how many years of experience that we have in working in the accounting and bookkeeping world, and any specialties that we can bring to the table. So, for example, I have a lot of background in manufacturing. Okay, that's, from my corporate life when I was in accounting. So much of what I did was as a cost accountant. So one of the things that I can do that not every bookkeeper can do, which kind of sets me apart a little bit, is that I can help a lot of clients with understanding what their profitability is, from the standpoint of job costing, that type of thing. Like I've had several clients who are like, I really want to know if the bookings that I do are profitable or the jobs that I do are profitable. And so, I can help with a lot of those kinds of things, because I'm kind of used to the sort of detailed financial data you need to have in order to do that. And a lot of times that has to be tracked sort of separately from your financial software, because financial software doesn't always handle that really well, you know. Plus, I've helped a lot of businesses to understand that, um, um, when you're looking at profitability, especially when it comes to service related stuff, people often think like if you look like at a contractor bill, it's like, well, why did it cost me $200 an hour for this person, right? Um, and part of that is because that's the industry standard, and the time of some of these professionals can be really expensive. It's like when you hire a CPA, you're paying $150, $200 an hour, sometimes more, depending on who it is. Like I work with a CPA that is tremendously good at tax strategy. Oh my God, he's so great, and he charges a pretty penny for it, but it's worth it. You get all that money back in savings, right? Um, so it's worth it. His value proposition is huge. Okay. Um, I have referred clients to him, that have gotten great value out of what he does. And so, like I had a client one time who was only charging $60 an hour for what he did. And I showed him pretty quickly why he was losing money and why it was so hard for him. And I said, you really honestly have got to find, and it was a situation where he couldn't really change that rate with this particular client. I said, well, you got to find other clients. That'll help you where you can charge more, and you can leave this to, some cheaper resources to get it done, and all that sort of thing, which, I'll probably provide some case studies for you at some point in my video content, to where I've helped certain clients, right? So, and you can do this with whether it's services or products or both, where you have a small little brochure that kind of talks about what you do. Like I have often picked up things, like when I am visiting areas, like in a hotel, where they often have those racks full of, see this experience, see that experience, blah, 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 right? Sometimes I've seen things advertised for products, that are unique to the area or something like that. You never know where you might, end up handing something like this out or having it available to people. Um, so it might not hurt to have something like that you can hand out, especially if you are a product where you're at events, like this. I think I mentioned on one of my videos that I ran across this guy that made honey, right? Now, he had some handouts there. I didn't take them, but having those kinds of things available to people can be really helpful, right? If you're at some sort of trade show or farmer's market, whatever you're doing. Okay. So think about possibly having something like this. You can add this, be sure to add this into your marketing plan. The cost of getting some of this done, which a lot of times it's just your time to get it done. And whether it's color or not, or this and that, the other thing, that's just a personal choice for yourself. But as you'll see with my document, it's pretty straightforward. It's just, this is who we are. This is how we work, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And, you've got a document that you can use with referral partners, with potential clients, etc. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you later.